is money here anymore.
You take your shoes off before we start? Yes. Okay. Almost there? Almost gone off?
Okay.
Let's go shoes.
Alright.
Hey, Will.
Yes.
Can I tell you a secret?
What?
We've been recording for 20 seconds.
Jesus.
Welcome, everybody, to Life in the World to Come. 1 week, exactly 1 week after the last one. It's only been a week.
Howdy,
we did
folks. How y'all doing?
Will is holding his head down in shame.
I am... You guys heard how loud my shoes are. Listen to this. The shoes should not... Maybe... I don't know if you guys can hear that, but my shoes are made out of some strange Chinese materials. Anyway, welcome to Life in the World to Come, starring Chris Dunn and yours truly, William Wood.
Woo!
Hope y'all are doing well. Thanks for tuning in once more. It has been about exactly only a week.
It has been... What's 24 times 7?
I have no idea.
It's been that many hours since the last one.
It's been 112 hours.
It's been 112 hours.
That is not 24 times 7.
It's been significantly less than a week since the last podcast.
It's been 168 days.
Hours. We just released the last podcast, and we have so much steam that we're just going to record another one.
Awesome, guys, awesome. This is all right. This is so exciting. I'm so happy to be doing this again.
Yeah,
I want to do it every day, and we pretty much already have.
We're going to do it every day. We've been doing it every day.
All right, excellent.
This is what happens when we start a podcast trying to have high energy.
That's right.
Is that
back despite popular demand?
We're just shouting. That's what this is.
Yeah. All right. This is not energy. This is shouting. All right. So let's hop into it, man.
Yeah, okay, so I think the first way to start... Oh my god! Oh my god, Will!
What is that sound?
It's happening!
It's happening?
Will, it's finally happening!
It's happened.
Take out the signet ring I gave you.
Okay.
The signet ring that I gave you on your 16th birthday. Put it into the slot underneath the desk. Now on 3. 1, 2, 3, turn. The flame is alit. The beacon is alit. All right, any moment now. Okay, and a raven has alighted on my arm. He's a scroll tied to his leg. Fly away, friend. All right.
Read the scroll.
Read the scroll. All right, I'm unfurling the scroll. And what it says that aggressive goats with a taste for human urine have been airlifted out of a park. It's the first sign, Will!
Jesus Christ.
The Telegraph.uk.com has an article that reads, Aggressive goats with taste for human urine have been airlifted out of a park. This is the first sign.
It's finally what we've been talking about.
This is the first thing.
Wow. It's really happening.
These aggressive goats addicted to human urine. They're addicted to human urine. The problem has gotten so bad that they are now airlifting these goats out of this park.
Do you hear that,
because
folks?
Because of their sick piss addiction.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we've been talking about how delicious piss is since we started this podcast.
Neither's boats and in-betweens. You heard it here first. The first sign of the event is unfolding before our very eyes. Aggressive goats addicted to human urine are being airlifted out of parks because of their violent urge to consume the urine of human park people. And
I'm going further down the article and it's saying authorities say, well, here's what's happening. So these goats, right?
Yeah.
They're addicted to the salt in the human piss. It's like these salt deposits have like run out or whatever, and like humans will like pee in the park and they'll like go and they'll lick it, and they're just so into like the taste of human piss that the smell just makes them aggressive, and they're attacking people's dicks. They're just charging straight at people's dicks, trying to bite and ram them and doing all kinds of crazy goat shit to these people's dicks.
Is there a death toll?
Well, I don't know if there's a human death toll, but
there's a goat death toll.
Well, I'm reading further down the article, which is it says here, authorities say they expect to shoot another 300 or so that cannot be caught, which of course is the second sign.
Wait, 300?
300 goats.
Wait, no, hold on a second.
These goats are too horny for piss, and they gotta kill 300 of them.
Wait. Slow down. Slow down. There are 300 that haven't been caught.
No, they gotta kill them.
What? That means how many were caught? Are they saying they haven't been?
That's an excellent question, and they don't. Actually, it's 375. So a little over half of them are being caught, and then the rest are just getting shot.
I am dumbfounded.
Well-
I never thought. I.
Well, we should be celebrating.
Well, this is
It's
the first
finally happening. It's the first and second signs. First the goats with the hunger for piss, and then the culling of the goats.
The culling of the goats.
It's
You're
happening
right.
so fast.
The culling of the goats. That was written in the Archronomicon.
Yes, the Archronomicon.
And when you first presented to me your third edition paperback copy of the Archronomicon,
Yes.
you said,
My book, the Archronomicon.
You said to me, listen, William, pick any page, open up the book to whatever page it opens to.
Yes.
That is your spirit page. And I remember it was page 67012 that said there was the culling of the goats that was coming.
Yes, that's true.
And this is my spirit page. It is coming to pass.
Yeah,
This is
you have a personal
incredible.
connection to this.
I am deeply moved. My chakras are aligned like never before. I feel the rays of Venus through
I mean,
my...
have you been feeling particularly connected to these? Have you been feeling like horny for piss, or
I mean, not more so than usual.
just the normal amount of piss
It's
horny?
normal amount of piss horny.
I mean, look, everyone's a little bit piss horny sometimes. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I hope. I mean,
God, I hope. I'm normal.
yes. So this is so tell me, what do you expect to happen next?
Well, here's the thing about the book that I wrote that I remember the name of.
Right, I recall it as well.
The Acronomicon is the name that I chose many years ago and was not made up by you 2.5 minutes ago.
No,
The thing about it is that it writes itself as events unfold.
I see.
So we can check the references now and see that the events have happened, but we have no way of knowing. It could be anything. We won't know what the signs are until they happen.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So,
I talked to God.
oh,
Yeah. That's it. That's
what did he say?
I mean, read the book,
Okay. I'll read the book, folks. That's available on Amazon at Kindle, Audible, and paperback format. It's the Archronomicon by Chris Dunn. Check that out.
Work in progress.
It's published, but also not done.
That's the thing about that's the trick that a lot of people don't understand about writing prophecies, and why I'm so good at it is that I wait for the events to unfold and then write the prophecies about them.
Well, I mean, that's always going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, eat your heart out, Nosferatu. Nostradamus.
Yeah.
I always get Nostradamus and Nosferatu mixed up.
Well, the vampires too.
The vampires have no idea what's coming. Vampires can't predict the future. My mind is not working tonight.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the energy for this podcast.
I don't like it.
I wonder how. Well, we killed 8 minutes with that bit. We managed to go 8 whole minutes of that bit.
We could have done so much better.
We could have, but we didn't. And there's no going back now.
Oh, if there's no going back,
What is it going to be funnier the second time?
maybe.
What is it going to be funnier when I actually think of more stuff to do for the bit other than the whole signet ring phone thing?
Honestly,
Actually,
it might be. You might be able to squeeze some more out of it. You're a talented guy. My brain is full of cheeseburger and vegetable oil French fries.
I fed you cheeseburgers before we started
They
this
were
podcast.
so good, but my mind is just not present. I tried doing dancercise to get into the moment, and it just made my heart rate go up, and it didn't increase my energy at all.
Will did approximately 23 seconds of fake dancing as like a joke to try to get because he was feeling full, and he was so not joke-winded afterwards.
It was really weird.
It was very funny.
I have a heart condition.
You do.
Yeah.
That's less funny.
It's okay. It's benign. Anyway, life in the world to come. I'm gonna let you take over.
Right, so we were thinking we're actually going to do a themed episode this time.
Fuck yeah!
We're going to do a themed episode. We're going to talk about entertainment, baby.
Entertainment, baby.
Show business.
Showbiz.
Now, I think this is a good thing for you, particularly because you are in the entertainment business.
That is correct. I am in the entertainment.
You are an
business.
entertainer.
I am, to some.
Yeah.
To others, a nuisance.
To others, a lover. To others, an enemy.
and to all, fuck. I have nothing, man.
This is such a good episode of the podcast. We haven't done this shit in a month.
We don't have to.
We're tired.
We don't have to
We're
keep
sleeping.
We don't have to keep this.
We
can start again.
Of course we have to keep it, Will.
We don't. We don't.
No, we do.
It's only 9 minutes of sunk cost.
This is your punishment, Will.
For what I didn't
For your
do anything.
sins, Will.
What sins? Which ones? I've been punished so much for so many. I can only handle so many more.
Now we're 10 minutes in.
This isn't even.
It's so easy.
I am
just
having
have to...
such a bad time. Please, can we just try one more time?
Well, look, between the fuck.
Just
how is it going to be different the other time?
I don't
What
know.
are we going to do differently?
I'll have like some ideas to what's going on. I really was so not ready.
All right. Well, okay. Here's what I'll do.
What?
I'm going to stop the podcast and we'll start it again. But if you have to fucking nail it this time.
I will.
Or else I'm just gonna add it to the end of what we've already done.
All right. Let's
Are you
do
ready?
it. I've farted several times.
All right. I better be fucking impressed.
You're going to be.
Because I'm not going to do that whole bit all over again. You have to impress me within the first 5 minutes if we're going to do that bit a second time.
You got to do that bit again. That's a good bit.
I got to do that good bit, but I'm not going to do it again if we've already done the podcast once.
All right, we're gonna
do it.
Kick-ass.
All right, I'm going to pause now.
Okay.
And this is going to be it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, nuts, bolts, and in-betweens, and welcome to Life in the World to Come, starring yours truly, Will Wood, and the one and only Chris Dunn. How you doing tonight, Chris?
I'm doing pretty okay.
I'm glad to hear it. I myself am not doing so hot. I gotta say, I am so fucking chock full of cheeseburger, bacon, and greasy French fries, I can hardly breathe. But
that's true.
Do a little bit more dancercise, get the blood pumping. Maybe I'll be able to, get some gears turning in my head so that we can really tackle this episode head on, because it has been, how long since our last episode?
1 week.
It has been precisely 1 week.
It's
and
been only
precisely 1 week longer than I am able to keep steam going for. So allow me to readjust my head and get into the movement, okay. Back despite popular demand, it is Life in the World to Come, where we tell you, the listener, all about the world that is yet to come and the coming event. It is coming. The world will change. Life as we know it will never be the same any day now. The skies will open up. Vampires and Draculas will dive out of the stars, and they will consume your blood and your viscera and your entrails and all of your friends. And it's just, the world's going to be a big, big wreck, and we're here to prepare you for it. Chris Dunn and I are the only experts on this topic, so listen very, very closely to what we have to say. Alrighty then. So, how has your week been?
I love this character that you're doing.
Thank you very much. Apparently I need to get into one in order to function properly. This is take 3, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and in-betweens.
This fucking game show ass Will Wood. I love it.
This is Instagram story, Will.
This is great because this episode, we're doing a themed episode.
We're prepared.
This is great. We can carry this big showbiz energy into our big showbiz episode. That's right, everyone. This one has a theme, and it's fucking entertainment.
Entertainment.
Guys, how are you going to entertain yourself once there's no fucking TV?
That's right. It's not going to be any TV. There's not going to be any
fucking Nintendo Switch.
Nope, no Facebooks or Instagrams, none of the Snapchats, none of the Netflixes and chills, the Hulus and the Amazon Primes to entertain you. You can't just sit down on the couch and expect the world of media to come to you, and you're not going to be able to just hit the road and go to the movie theater either, because everybody's going to be a fucking zombie.
It's true, but like, well, hey, if you think about it, Will, if you think about it, thanks to, if you look, because of television, if you think about it, actually, if you think about it, we're already kind of zombies. You ever think about that?
Too much phone!
You ever think about how we're zombies?
Oh, wow, man.
How maybe we're already zombies.
We're already prisoners to our own need for distraction. for distraction from the moment, man. Anything that gets us out of the moment. We don't like the present. We don't want to live in the present. It's turning into zombies, man. You're right. You're fucking right. That's a great fucking idea. That's a great fucking point.
Anyway, this has been Life in the World to Come.
We're done.
You guys, subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us a review.
We should have an Instagram account. Let's do that.
We should. Yeah, let's
follow us at lifeintheworldtocome on Instagram. I hope somebody hasn't already taken it.
By the time this podcast comes
We'll find out if it's been taken yet, and we'll snag it if it hasn't.
This has got okay. So we're gonna talk a little bit about like how we think the entertainment industry, and not even just the entertainment industry. Like, how are you gonna occupy your time? How are you gonna the time that you spend, watching your shows or playing your video games or listening to your podcasts? How are you gonna spend that time after the event?
Because the world that we're going to be living in the not too distant future, it's going to be a very, very different one. And so the ways in which we're going to entertain ourselves, have fun, and pass the time is going to be very, very different. I was wondering what you thought would come of film, because the physical film media, Library of Congress, all the great warehouses of Hollywood, where they literally keep rolls of film. Will those survive? Will
I would
streaming survive?
That's true. Well, I will say that I think the most common kind of film for people to watch in the apocalypse will be like like a 30-second repeating clip of your dead wife telling you how much she loves you.
That's
that you watch in front of a trash can fire just over and over every night, just in the loneliness as the wind howls and you think of better times. That's gonna, I think, be the main. That's gonna be like the most common use of film. I'm not now okay. So we have is 50mm gonna survive? Is classic film gonna survive? Will digital film survive the magnetic pulse? Will everything be erased? And I think the question is will we be able to build up what we have lost?
Well, it's
to where we are now.
It's interesting because with the magnetic pulse coming up on the horizon, VHSs, even if you can get your hands on a secondhand VCR, they're not going to be any good. Once the magnetic pulse comes and destroys all the tapes, forget about it. You might be able to save one or two strips of VCR tape, but it's not going to do you all that much good, especially since people are going to be tearing VCRs apart to get those little gears so that they can build robot swords. Yeah. So,
right.
So wait. So there's going to be a limited type of media out there.
Yeah.
And I think that you've raised an interesting point, because we're going to have such a limited supply of media formats to work with that we're going to be very utilitarian in our entertainment formats.
And again, I can't stress this enough. Most of the film that will survive will be 30-second clips of your dead wife.
Well, it makes sense that they would, too.
Yeah,
because we're also going to be more dedicated to preserving that as well.
Yeah.
Once again, we got to be careful with what we got. Every little strip of film that we have, we got to know, is this valuable to me? Is this valuable to me? Do I need this tape of Thomas Tank Engine? Do I need that? Do I need this tape of Taibo workouts? Mm-hmm. Do I need this?
Maybe.
You might. As a matter of fact,
useful.
actually, that's you're probably going to want to put that in your back pocket. But you're not going to need that old tape of, that one tape. You don't need it. What you do need is that home video of your wife telling you that you love her, or that she loves you, and that you love her too.
And that's
you need her to tell you that.
Well, the thing is that it's like a home video. You're behind the camera. You're telling her how much you love her. She's telling you how much she loves you.
The pronouns are hard.
It is. It's going to be even harder. Your wife might be trans. You don't know.
Yeah. They might be telling you that they love you and you love them and blah, 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 blah.
Exactly. The point being is that
this is emotionally valuable stuff.
Right. But here's the thing is that if that is all that survives. Okay, so you have to think about the way that film, film didn't come out of the box as it is now. Right. There's a lot of artistic evolution that's happened. You know, like
Right.
when we first started film, like it was just like a video of a train and everybody freaked the fuck out.
It was the Lumiere brothers with their moving camera.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that's the way that we've gotten here now is you know, by we are inspired by what we have.
Right.
There is no original art. All art is essentially a pastiche. And so what I'm thinking is that like most movies post the event are going to be like they're going to be dead wife related or adjacent. There's going to be a lot of themes of dead wives because that's all we're going to have to go on.
Well, that's all we're going to have to talk about.
Right.
You know, every wife is going to be dead.
It's going to be extremely relatable.
Right. Everybody's wife will be dead.
Everyone's got a dead wife.
If you are a wife, run.
Like,
it's coming for you. The tornado is coming.
There will, yeah.
The great tornado. I just want to make a quick warning.
Wife tornado.
I want to talk about the great wife tornado really quick. All right? Listen. This is something that came to me in a dream a few nights ago. When the news broke that 17 tornadoes in the state of New Jersey alone, 17 tornadoes blew through the state of New Jersey in 1989. And then in this year, 7 tornadoes blew through the state of New Jersey. Breaking news, 17 in 1989. Breaking news, 7 today. 7 in the last 2 weeks, 17 in 1989. So many since 1989. My point is that there's tornadoes. And the tornadoes, and if you think that the tornadoes of today are going to be like the tornadoes of tomorrow, tornadoes of today and tomorrow ain't going to be the same tornadoes, all right? Because the wife tornado is coming. It will come. The magnetic pulse will send the winds of the whole world into a frenzy.
What the fuck is
What? The magnetic pulse will explode through the prime meridian and split the Marianas Trench. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
And the winds of Thor will encapsulate the
Oh my god, it's happening!
Oh no.
Oh no! Oh my god, it's happening! Well, it's finally happening!
Oh god.
Quick, take the signet ring out of the compartment in your desk. The signet ring, Will! Get the signet ring
I got it!
The signet ring that I gave you on your 18th birthday.
Yes,
put it on.
okay.
Alright, put it into there's a compartment under your desk. Put it into the compartment under your desk. Alright, 3, 2, 1, turn! The beacon is alit! The beacon is alit. Okay, good. Thank God, I wasn't sure it would.
God.
Alright, any moment now, and here it comes. Alright, a raven is flying down. It's alighting on my. A raven has alit upon my arm. It has a scroll tied to its foot. What is this? What's in this? It's the tiniest scroll. What does it say? What could it possibly say? It says that aggressive goats with taste for human urine airlifted out of park.
Oh no.
It's the first sign.
The first sign, folks. It is the first sign.
The Telegraph.co.uk has an article reading, aggressive goats with taste for human urine airlifted out of the park. It's the first sign. It's happening. This is a real thing that happened. So this is an article from the Telegraph. Okay, so this guy...
Wait, hold on. Just for the sake
Yes.
of understanding what just happened. The Crow.
The Crow gave me a scroll a copy-pasted article from the Telegraph.
Okay, so the Crow landed upon your arm and it bestowed upon you a scroll of the Telegraph.co.uk.
Yeah, well, it was a printout. It was it was a printout. It was on scroll paper, but it was clearly like they just put scroll paper into like a printer.
I think it's incredible that like a printer could honestly like just work with parchment like that because you'd think it would just like rip. Or is parchment harder than paper?
Well, look, I run in some very powerful societies.
Oh, I know.
Some secret orders with a lot of resources.
I've seen you with the plague mask. I've seen you with the plague mask.
I have several beat masks, each for a different occasion. With its own specific use.
The occasion I saw yours on was not one that I wanted to say.
Well,
you had the big hook nose plague mask on, didn't you?
Yeah.
I don't like that one.
That's the good time mask.
That was a bad night for me.
Not for me.
Okay.
The point is that the
goats.
goats are addicted to piss and they're coming for your dicks, people.
And that is the first sign of the event.
So, seriously, okay, this is a real thing. There is where is it? It's a park in this is Olympic National Park in Washington State, 100 miles left of Seattle. Only 100 miles from Seattle.
Oh my god.
These goats are so addicted to the salt in your piss and your sweat that they are coming after you. To an extent that the fucking National Park Service is airlifting these goats out of the park. The piss goats have been lifted into the sky.
It's
the
just
first
like
sign.
It says in the book.
Just like it says in my book.
Just like
in my sacred book.
In your sacred book, Burke, the air. Your sacred book. Now available on Amazon in Kindle and Audible format. So this is huge.
Yes.
The goats have ascended, and that means that coming next is the culling of the ghosts.
Oh.
The goats.
Oh, but you have no idea, Will.
What?
Because it says right here, authorities say they expect to shoot another 300 or so that cannot be caught.
Christ.
There are too many piss goats in this park for them to save.
Folks, this is big.
This is the first two signs in one fell swoop.
The piss goats have ascended and the culling has begun. That means that the streets will run red with the sacrificial lamb's blood. And that is big. That means we are just moments, essentially.
Now, I will say, it's not, we have a little bit of time.
Okay.
It's going to take, it should be about now after the first two events, it should be about a year before the next, so we do have some time to plan.
I meant on the cosmic scale.
Right, okay. It should only be about a year after the events, and, oh my god.
What?
I'm just reading this. This article is from September 15th, 2018. It's coming. This article is a year old.
Folks.
That's right, we're sharing a year-old article
that
on
was
our
delivered
podcast.
by a crow.
We have no idea when they put that in.
There are too many streams of reality.
I'm gonna say right now, we gotta stop using these crows.
They're running late.
This is not an efficient form of information transport.
Also, I don't... You know what? None of this makes sense. I like it, but it doesn't make any sense. So the signs are coming, and the signs have arrived. We're fucked, is essentially it. Because, as it says in your sacred book...
you go on, sorry.
Oh, I just wanted to say that, as it says in your sacred book, once the goats develop the taste for the salt in our urine, they start to get addicted to the magnified radiation in our urine that we get from all of the electronics and uranium-powered machinery that we eat in our daily lives. Mm-hmm. They get addicted to that, and then they mutate, and then the next thing you know, every goat in the world has 4 arms and is very strong.
Oh God.
I think that's
this is the genesis of 4-armed strongness.
Yes. I mean,
they are the first to gain the 4 arms.
The ascended goats. The ones that don't get culled.
Good God.
So that's big. That's big. Where does that leave us, man?
Where does this leave us?
I mean, I kind of just think to myself, we've been preparing for so long, and it's really upon us. So we can't waste another minute. We need to get down to brass tacks. We need to really, really talk about this.
Right.
We need to be ready, and you, the listeners, it is our responsibility to deliver to you the knowledge that we have gained from our premonitions and from our connections to those in the sky. I mean, the higher-ups, the big dudes. And
the goats.
And the goats.
The sky goats.
The sky goats, yep.
Which is why this episode, we're going to be telling you what you can do instead of playing Nintendo Switch.
Exactly, because that's going to be important. Hey, you gotta
entertain yourself.
You gotta have fun.
You gotta have fun.
You gotta. Even if fun isn't.
That's all, folks.
even if fun isn't directly tied to your survival, what point is there to survive if you don't have fun?
In retrospect, maybe it wasn't a good idea to interject the piss goat segment in the middle of the entertainment industry episode.
Yes, but I do think
a little bit off
fascinating
topic. Now we gotta get back on there.
Well, that is interesting though.
Steer this ship back on course
because it's worth talking about.
Right.
Because live theater.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this in a previous episode, briefly at least. Mm-hmm. But live theater is often, as we discussed, going to be conducted in outdoor. What's the word I'm looking for?
Amphitheaters.
There we go. Amphitheaters constructed out of chain link fences,
I went to
skeletons.
theater camp.
Thank you.
So I know what an amphitheater.
All right, so it's going to be performed.
I also know about thrust stages. And man, this joke would be better if I could name more types of theaters.
Theater in the round.
Anyway,
Theater in the round.
What were you
Proscenium.
Yeah, that was the other one.
Motherfucker.
That was the 3 kinds of stages.
Yes, all right. So these proscenium theater in the round thrust amphitheaters that will be built out of skeletons, chain link fence, barbed wires, and skeletons, and chain link fence and skeletons. We're going to be performing most of our theater in there, and it's going to be mostly for the sake of relaying information that's deep inside our guts. The human experience will be changing, and we'll be communicating it through each other. That's like really, I believe, the subconscious point of entertainment. Now, maybe call me a Jungian for saying that, but but the point I'm making is you're gonna have to be careful too, because the 4-armed, very strong piss goats ascended to the sky are gonna be flying around, dropping flaming fucking bombs of goat juice on your heads while you're trying to have fun. So that's just gonna be hard.
I like it when we just get into free association territory in this podcast.
So, anyway, what do you think? What do you think gamers have to look forward to? No, seriously. No, honest question. What do you think gamers have to look
the nice
forward
thing
to?
is I think gamers are going to be more ready than any demographic because they've been training. They've been mentally preparing all these years.
Right.
For so many years we've been laughed at. But now, then they'll know. Because we played... Look, if you've played Call of Duty once, you know how to use a gun.
That's true.
That's true.
You certainly know better than somebody who's never played Call of Duty.
That's true. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about what you're going to do in lieu of video games.
Right.
And well, actually, that's a good point. It's like, 'cause in a way, your whole life is going to be kind of like a video game.
Hey.
You're gonna get to kind of wander the wastes. You're gonna get upgrades in the form of horrible, disgusting mutations.
Well, that's it's interesting because it kind of calls into question, like, why is a video game fun but survival not? Right. When video games half the time are an attempt at simulating survival in a world that you don't know. As a matter of fact, maybe the world to come will be a rip-snorting good time.
Yeah, I mean, the only difference between murder and playing a video game is whether or not you do a little floss dance afterwards.
Exactly.
You kill a guy and then do like a little like floss dance.
If you teabag him.
Yeah, if you do a Fortnite dance after you murder a man, then it's not really a murder. You're just playing a video game.
Exactly. And that is why we have a gun crisis in our country. Is because of what is that? Fortnite.
Yep.
That's why.
But here's the thing. After the event, that gun crisis is going to become...
Awesome. It's going to be good.
A fun crisis. Guys, thanks for listening to Life in the World to Come. You rate us on iTunes.
We need to pass sensible fun control. 3 armed fun men enter. And the shopping mall.
Countless innocents fund down.
I'm in so much pain. I have to leave. Talk about entertainment.
left the room as a result of maybe one of the laziest jokes I've ever told in my entire life.
I'm gonna throw up.
He's fully gone. It's just me. Will's talking about how he's gonna puke.
I really feel like I'm gonna throw up. Okay. So. I can't do it. I can't go back in the room. Oh, fuck, man. Okay. All right, so let's talk about
Yeah.
Okay. Music. Concerts. What's going to come of them? What's going to become of them?
Well, you're the musician.
That's a good point.
You would know better than I would.
Yes, but I don't. So
you're not supposed to be allowed to do that.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to think myself because I'm trying to get. I'm trying to take a break here and let you talk. Because
it's like, like
crisis.
A lot of the time in improv they tell you about yes and they don't tell you a lot about no. Period. No full stop.
Hey, do you think improv would allow no but?
I mean, to be fair, I didn't exactly. I less yes anded you and more just be like. It's like you were like yes and I was like yes and you were like
Fun crisis, man. That's what I just had.
Okay, so let's take a think here. So
let's
I hate this fucking podcast.
Okay, so in the world to come, music will not be like what it was before. If you like your EDM and your techno house and your deep techno EDM house and your bass and your drums and your microphone and all that jazz, you're going to have a hard time if you're looking for that and all that heavy metal stuff because amplifiers, unless you know how to build one yourself out of the remains of broken robot swords, you're not going to be able to play your guitar.
I mean, I don't know. You sound pretty dismissive there, but I know a lot of crusty dudes, so I feel like you know enough about amps to figure that out.
Well, I mean, fair, but it takes a lot to build a computer, and the average individual.
I know what you mean.
Won't be able to record music like they can. Back in the day, you had to actually sing into a room with a wax cylinder in it, and it would carve vibrations into it. And that was crude, rudimentary physical recording. And in this day and age, it's so easy to be able to record music for essentially free. We're not going to be able to do that anymore. And so the average individual is going to have a harder time making music like that.
Right. But Spotify won't exist.
And there'll be maybe money.
So you might actually get to make some fucking money.
God damn.
Can you even imagine?
Jesus Christ.
Do you even imagine people paying for the music that you make?
Dude, imagine that. I often dream about what it would be like if I had this career in the 80s. 70s.
Yeah.
I'd be
that would
in
be
the
the time.
early 70s. Yeah. Yeah, because the big industries would be trying to, capitalize on the weirdness of the late 60s. I'm perfect candidate for that shit.
Well, I've also said before, this is off topic, but I have also said before that your music would have worked really well if you had started it, in 2007 on YouTube and just, done exactly what Bo Burnham had done. I think you could have done that.
I think that's what Bo Burnham did.
Well, yeah, no, that's why I think that. But anyway,
we never finished talking about film, and I did want to know what your thoughts were about television.
Ooh,
because even when the world is dust and we are nothing more than dust, and everything has turned dust, and you and I are just dust. Mm-hmm. One thing that won't be dust is radio waves. The waves stay undusted. And, they are as close to infinite as anything that we can exist have been. And, and so,
we both made eye contact as soon as you were, like...
raw radio waves will still be, what's I'm looking for? Traversing the universe long after we're gone. And so, television, the studios might not still be up,
but it'll be there.
The waves will
in
be
the
there.
wind.
In the wind.
In the whisper in the if you listen closely on a quiet autumn night, you might be able to hear Joey talking about a big sandwich he might eat.
You mean Joey like Friends Joey?
Yeah. I was like,
I just want to say, I watched Friends recently.
I've never seen Friends. I just know that there's a character named Joey who loves sandwiches.
He does like
That's
sandwiches.
pretty much what I know about Friends.
The format of every Friends joke is somebody somebody says a thing, and then somebody else thinks that it sounds like a gay thing, and then everybody laughs.
Yeah,
every Friends joke is that exact formula.
Every joke on every show on television up until literally 6 months ago was just like,
that?
hey,
did you say something gay?
Like, what's weird about trans people? I'm Barney Stinson. I tricked a woman into sex. Isn't that funny? Why, I trick a woman into sex nigh almost every night.
It's so fucked up. I like how
I'm an American treasure.
It kind of makes me appreciate It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia more, because Dennis's character is really, really. And like a parody of that sort of character.
You're meant to see how weird and toxic that kind of thing is.
Yeah, he's Barney Stinson would not be charming. Somebody who behaved like that would not be charming and suave and sexy. They would be terrifying and weird.
The whole country is to this day in love with Neil Patrick Harris because of a character who played who was as close to a rapist as a person can come without being a rapist.
Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty creepy.
I hear Neil Patrick Harris is kind of a dick in real life.
I don't know. We should ask my friend Cole.
Ooh.
He deals in skeletons. This sounds like I'm talking about...
Neil Patrick Harris would know a skeleton
He
man.
does know a skeleton man. I also know that same skeleton man.
This sounds like a bit for the podcast.
Yeah, it's not.
But you do know a skeleton man.
Let's put it into context.
You do know a bone salesman in real life.
I do. And let's put it into context, just because I feel like we haven't done enough talking about the tornadoes and the vampires and Draculas and Nosferatus and demons that are gonna eat the stars.
We do a little less every episode, and there's only been... This is the 4th episode.
Is it really only the 4th?
This is only the 4th episode.
Okay.
And every episode is less about the apocalypse than the one before it.
So, the wastelands will be filled with traveling bone dealers. And I happen to have already made friends with a certain tribe of bone dealers who deal in bones. They collect and purvey human remains, cursed items, and ancient artifacts from a time before medicine and a time before anybody knew that bones existed. And and
we never looked.
We never. There's a man by the name of Cole Mazelewski who, there's like his name is like a combination between like mausoleum and obelisk. That's terrifying. He's Cole's obelisk
this is
mausoleum.
Your real bone guy's name?
It's his actual name.
Okay.
So
a little plug for the bone guy.
The bone guy, Cole Mazelewski. He's been working with Neil Patrick Harris because he also deals in ancient keys, and apparently. Neil Patrick Harris has an interest in ancient keys, which is very interesting.
All right, I don't know if I would have said Neil Patrick Harris was a dickhead if I had known I was 3 degrees of separation away from him.
Well, now he knows that you think he's a dickhead.
I don't
disagree
think he's a dickhead. I heard someone say on a podcast.
Backpedal.
He's a dickhead.
I'll say it. Neil Patrick Harris, you're a fucking dickhead.
I don't know. I heard he was fucking hard to work with. He's like fucking prima donna or whatever. I don't know. Like,
and I didn't like your Count Olaf. Okay. I didn't like Jim Carrey's either, though. Anyway, how are we? How are we doing?
We're good. We're about halfway there.
Holy mother of Christ.
You know, I think we're about halfway there. I left the other take in, so it's like, it says 45 minutes, but it's probably closer to 35.
Okay, so let's,
You know the podcast is good when we're like, oh fuck, how much more of this shit do we gotta do? Oh god.
I've completely run out of steam.
How
As
long
I'm
can
sure
we
you've noticed,
keep this up?
I'm no longer in any particular character at all. The fun crisis destroyed me. So, another life lost to the fun crisis.
Well, this is... Well, this is where...
Speak! Take over this. I can't keep yelling about things.
Well, this is where you, the audience, comes in, throwing us a life preserver in this, I don't know, I'm not going to continue the metaphor. Let's do some fucking audience questions. We talked about entertainment and the apocalypse, kind of.
I really feel like we didn't convey much information.
Well, you know what? It's on brand.
Alright. In summation, entertainment will be all about how you look at the world. And the way we consume media now, if we're going to, it's going to be in a very different fashion. Because it's going to be all about keeping yourself going. And while we think, we consume media today, thinking to ourselves, we're just killing time. But you know what? Really, when it comes down to it, we really do it to make sure time doesn't kill us. Ooh. And that's...
Oh, fuck.
No idea what that meant.
I'm so fucking hard right now.
Just reversed words. And sometimes that works. And that's how you write a song. People think you're deep.
Hey, did you ever think about that? I know you thought about this thing, but what if it was that thing?
So, hang on to those precious memories, those little videos that mean a lot to you, and make room in your VHS collection for clips of your wife saying that she loves you. Because if she does love you, you're going to want to remind her once she's been sucked up by one of the many tornadoes. The tornado is coming. He is coming for you. Anyway, let's take some audience questions.
I like it when you just interject weird little inside jokes from our texts that they're not going to get at all. Referring to tornado as a he.
I really like that idea. The tornado. He is coming. He's coming for you. I'm surprised he hasn't found you yet. I'm sorry. I'm ruining your podcast. This is not my podcast, guys. This is Chris's podcast.
Don't you fucking put this shit on me.
This was your idea.
It was my idea, but you're fucking going down with me.
You run the thing and you post it, and I just go, sure, I'll do it, and then I just shit all over it. Anyway,
Arnold S.
Smart one. You fucking write a podcast. Fucking
write a podcast.
Do it. Fucking don't let me say shit.
Arnold S. asks,
God damn it.
Me and my partner just moved in together, and it isn't going as well as I'd hoped. Do you think our relationship will survive the event? It's a little bit of a heavy one.
Yeah.
We're gonna get, it's a little bit, time to put, I'm taking off jokes hats coming off.
Yeah, it's
putting a serious hat on.
Me. Yeah, it's a nice hat.
It's got a little, it's like a little cowboy hat.
It's got a little bell on it, I see.
Yeah, no. It's weird, because the jokes hat's a lot more practical.
The joke hat's just a little baseball cap.
And the serious hat is just like it's a little cowboy hat that's too small for my head.
And it's got a bell on it?
Yeah, it's got like a little strap that goes over my chin so that it stays on.
I see. It's adorable.
It's very cute.
Yeah.
It's not good for what its purpose is.
But nonetheless,
tradition dictates that I must wear this hat.
This is a traditional serious hat. It's been passed down.
This was my father's hat.
And
every time my father had to say had to give me a lesson about life, he'd put on this tiny cowboy hat. Yeehaw! He would never say yeehaw.
No, I'm sorry.
He was a very serious man with a very serious hat.
And he wore that hat all the time because he was serious.
Arnold asked, me and my partner just moved in together. It's not going as well as I'd hoped. Do you think our relationship will survive the event? I mean, look, not to oversimplify things, but hey, if you can survive the event, then so can your relationship.
I think that's a good way of putting it. You know,
Think about that?
Yeah.
You ever think about that?
Every that's,
You ever think about how when you take two words and you switch them and then...
that is the I hope the microphone didn't pick
I hope
up.
they did hear that fart.
I didn't fart. So don't be ridiculous.
Never farted.
I'm putting on my serious hat. Every relationship has its own dynamic.
I like the tassels.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Those I added myself. My father would never wear tassels on his serious hat.
Yeah, but you gotta add something with every generation.
Exactly. Did you add the bell to yours?
No.
No?
No.
Is the chin strap yours?
No.
Did you add anything?
No.
Okay.
No. Full
No.
stop.
Well, you're not supposed to ask questions either, you know.
No.
So, oh my goodness. Every relationship has its own dynamic. If you have the kind of relationship that lends itself to, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Brute force, then yeah, it'll do well. If it won't do well before the event, that's bad. If there's a lot of brute force in your relationship, but
Yeah, well, I think if it's reciprocal brute force, if you are as brutal with your partner as they are with you, I think if it's a one-sided brute force, that could be toxic, and it's probably toxic either way. But
yes,
better to beat up on each other than for one to.
well, in the world to come, relationships will take on all kinds of new dynamics.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you'll see a lot of relationships that would, in one situation, be a relatively fair and balanced situation, with maybe one partner being the bigger personality and one partner, acquiescing to their personality. Let's say that's a common dynamic that you see. You take that, and in the world to come, that will turn into a master and his pet. And you'll see that a lot. You'll see a lot of men on leashes being, carrying their partner around, and there won't be anything wrong with that in the world to come, because that's just how we survive.
Everyone has a place. Everyone has a function.
Yeah. Everyone fits in one way or another.
And some people's function is to be a horsey for mistress.
Exactly. And that's mine, and it could be yours too. And so,
But I don't think I think there's a myriad of different ways that relationships. Like some people. Some people might be the master. Some people might be the pet. Some people might be a pile of your mom's bones.
Right.
In a dark room.
Right. Exactly.
That you just.
And if my relationship with a pile of my mom's bones can survive the end of times, then your relationship with your significant other can too. You just need to survive independently in order to survive together. Your relationship, it might take on new forms, but if you two are prepared to adapt, then love conquers all, man.
I mean, look, nothing brings people together like a project,
Yeah.
like a shared goal.
Right, like you have to build a new house out of cars and
Yeah,
dead
or you have
bodies.
to figure out how to get the radiation out of water when you have no access to like libraries or information, or
Right.
you have to reinvent science
Right,
together with your sweetie.
Or you have to build a steel umbrella to protect you from the asteroids.
Yeah.
Or you have to find a safe place to keep your blood overnight, otherwise the vampires will suck it out of you.
Right.
Is nothing brings people together like a project. And shared trauma, too.
No.
As a matter of fact, I would recommend that you and your partner go out into nature. No technology, no shoes, no clothing, nothing. Go out into nature like a couple of animals for 3 days. You'll be able to survive anything after that. Swear to God, you will. You will.
That's beautiful.
It's tried and true. My therapist told me that.
It's the wolf technique.
The wolf technique works. Ow! Okay.
Hey,
next question. Are there any wolves listening to this? I really want. I really feel like that question sounds like a non sequitur that makes no sense to ask. But knowing the type of people who listen to what I do,
Oh no!
are there any wolves listening? This is a genuine question. I reserve no judgment for wolves. I'm just wondering if there are any wolves listening. Please
Subscribe to his fucking Patreon.
I mean I was gonna say send us an email at lifeintheworldtocome@gmail.com to have your questions on the next episode. Here's question number 2.
Question number 2. I have a DIY punk band and we're really blowing up. Will and I just shared a knowing look. How can I reach new audiences after the internet goes down? This is from Caleb D.
I feel like I'm taking the floor too much tonight.
I know, but we are. This question was for you. This is so much.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm doing the tags tonight.
Okay,
Which is great because you're just on the top of your game. I'm just fucking exploding with energy. Look at you.
I'm exhausted.
You're fucking glowing.
My blood is
radiance.
Vampires aren't going to be able to drink my blood. That's a really quick tip for you listeners out there. Wolves or otherwise, don't eat healthy.
Yeah, like
really poorly.
Eat like shit, and the vampires will not want anything to do with you.
Exactly. Vampires want to drink fucking tomato juice out of your fucking neck. If you don't eat vegetables, they won't be able to.
Yeah, no, look, here's the thing. You wonder why every vampire is so hot. It's not because being a vampire makes you hot.
No.
It's because they don't like uggos.
Exactly.
They don't.
Another fun fact is that something. Believe it or not, vampires they drink blood, but Draculas usually only drink blood because they are confused and think it's tomato juice.
Right.
Draculas really prefer tomato juice.
They're extremely peaceful creatures, but also very dumb and don't know where their tomato juice comes from.
Idiots.
And you
fucking moron.
We keep trying to tell the vampires that that's not what tomato juice is, and they just won't.
They don't care. They don't fucking care.
They've made up their mind about where tomato juice comes from.
So stay away from healthy food. Get your veins nice and clogged up and greasy, because then the vampires, they're not going to, mistake it for tomato juice, because it's going to smell like a grease fire.
And look, if your arteries are clogged up, they're not going to be able to get it out anyway.
Exactly. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Shared a little high
we're saving
five.
lives out here.
Teamwork. All right, so to answer
Does that answer your question, Caleb?
Caleb, to answer your question, let me just say, congratulations on your recent successes. It takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication, and I believe in you. I wonder if the microphone picked up the sound of my eyes rolling. Listen, if you think that you're going to blow up in the world to come, you might, but only because of all the explosions. Because guess what, man? Nobody gives a shit about your scene. Once Draculas are coming out of the sky and demons are eating the stars and the clouds are becoming sentient and the tornado is coming for you, Caleb, he will find you. Once this happens, all the clout that you think you picked up because your Instagram followers went up a little bit ain't gonna mean shit, baby, because you just nobody's gonna be listening to fucking punk rock, man. They're gonna be listening to the sounds of tortured souls rising from their fucking guttural, growling throats. I mean, the music of the world to come is going to be a lot more akin to Swedish death metal than it is to, like, you know, American football. So here's what I recommend you do. One, give up, and two, learn to play an oil drum like a bass drum. Learn to play an oil barrel like a drum, because you know Slipknot is they know how they get it. Slipknot knows. Yeah. Slipknot knows what's going to happen. I think that's about it. I was gonna maybe like rail on the cultural issues I see in the DIY industry and the circuit. I was gonna like, you know, yell about how I feel like parts of the DIY ethos are just too convenient to not associate to the narcissism that's often present in artistic communities. But you know, I just Slipknot.
Be Slipknot.
Be Slipknot. You'll blow up in more than one way.
Be Slipknot. Play Slipknot covers. There's not going to be an internet, so no one's going to be able to tell you that you didn't write those songs.
That's true. Intellectual property will be a thing of the past.
The apocalypse is going to be a lot like the movie Yesterday.
I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
Okay.
And no one... as with
oh, wait, that's the movie
else.
Where that guy remembers the Beatles and everybody else...
Yeah. That's where everybody forgets about the Beatles except him, and he writes all the Beatles songs.
Yes.
It's basically going to be Yesterday with more guns and strong mutants.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Our next and final question. What time are we at?
Oh,
yeah, we're almost there. We can do one more question.
I threw up in my mouth a little.
I can't wait to listen to this episode.
It is
maybe the worst episode.
Next
but
episode,
we gotta do. We look. They can't all be winners. They gotta.
Let's. Next episode, we're gonna talk about violence. The theme of the next episode is going to be violence.
Yeah.
Okay?
We can talk for a whole hour about violence.
I want to talk about violence. I want to talk about what the world to come is going to be like on a visceral and terrifying level. And I want to talk about war, and I want to talk about violence.
Yeah.
So let's...
we're going to fucking get into it some other time.
Right. Before we hit the last listener question... once again, you are listening to Life in the World to Come. If you have a question for Chris Dunn and I about how to best survive in the world to come, and it is coming, the tornado will find you. Send it to lifeintheworldtocome@gmail.com. Was that a series of sentences or just a series of words?
I think most of those words made sense.
A lot of times I forget like the trajectory of my sentence like halfway through it. Too much acid today. I took too much acid today. Lifeintheworldtocome@gmail.com. Ask us your questions. Next week's theme is war. Send us your questions about war or about your life today and how you'd like to see it continue and what ways you'd like to see it change.
And if you have a DIY punk band and you're mad at something Will said, you can message him at willwoodmusic at gmail.com.
Correct, exactly. That's gonna reach me.
That's your real email address.
willwoodmusic@gmail.com. That's it.
I don't know
it's
what
gonna
your
reach
actual
that
Gmail address.
There's a Will Wood in New Zealand who I'm gonna have to tussle with at some point. He's gonna get your emails.
What does he do?
He plays guitar and he sings.
Oh no, you can't have that.
No, he's good.
Oh,
he's fine. Yeah, talented enough.
One of the guys in Brockhampton is named Will Wood. He goes by Merlin, but his actual name is William Wood.
As long as he's like one of the ones that didn't get in trouble.
No, he didn't.
Cool.
Fuck a teenager.
Associate with that shit. That's good. Also, there's a British soccer player named Will Wood, and a company that manufactures car brakes, and a dude with a beard who likes to talk about trees. Anyway.
Oh, I've seen that guy.
Have you? You would know that guy.
I think I would.
You're always telling me.
I fucking love
nature
videos that are just like a guy walking for 3 hours. That's my fucking shit. I love it.
So,
God, there is nothing better than boring YouTube. Just a 3-hour video of just a guy making a wood-turned vase. Making a dragon egg out of like an old log. Yeah, you like fill up an old log with like resin, and then like wait until it hardens, and then you just carve it on a turning thing until it's like an egg shape. Just watch that for an hour.
I could never do that. That sounds so boring.
It is.
Wow.
It's my ambient. The last question is fitting. The last question is, I love drugs. Well, I love the apocalypse. And that's from Anonymous.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say pretty,
We have a running theme of the last question being very simple, and yes, the answer is yes.
yes.
The apocalypse will be functionally very similar to being on drugs.
If you like brutally intense psychedelic experiences, you're gonna love the event and the world that follows it, because the sky will be changing colors constantly, much as it does during an acid trip, and there's a good chance that things that used to be plants or fungi will become more animal-like as a result of the irradiated sky.
So you're gonna have to fight the mushrooms.
You might. And if you eat them, you might trip so hard that you hallucinate them no longer being animals.
Right. But here's the other thing. What's better for creativity than limitations, right? Who knows? Like, there are going to be a lot of things that you would have never thought to use as drugs that you're going to start using as drugs. You wouldn't think to mix Drano and Kool-Aid and just try to just inject that, like pour it right into your eye to see what happens. But you're going to try it.
It sounded really specific. Have you tried that?
Not yet.
You want to try that later?
We could.
All right, let's try that after we're done with this. But Drool-Aid is what we're going to call it.
Okay.
Drool-Aid.
Drool-Aid. That's good.
Drool-Aid.
You can market that.
That's right. It's hitting the streets. Parents, watch out for this new killer drug invading your neighborhood. Kids are calling it Drool-Aid. What's it really all about? More at 11.com. You're gonna be necessity's the mother of invention. You're absolutely right, and I think that's an important thing to keep in mind all across the board, considering any topic
of course.
in the world to come.
You do what you can with what you have.
Yep. And if you're like an opioid addict right now, you're gonna want to stock up. That might be hard if you're an opioid addict, but try your best. Because unless you're the first person to raid the pharmacy once the event happens, you're going to be in short supply, and it's not like you can just cook that shit up anytime you want. The poppy trade is going to not be so good.
No. You're going to need to be harvesting the adrenal glands from the skulls of your enemies.
Yep.
You're going to need to be...
Here's a tip.
Yeah.
The pineal gland of an Anguantibo.
I don't know what a pineal is, but it sounds enough like penis that I'm going to assume it has something to do with that.
It doesn't, but we can do that.
I agree to disagree.
The pineal gland of an Anguantibo, which is a lemur-like animal that does not exist in the northern hemisphere at the moment, but will once the event occurs because of the tornadoes.
Yes.
The pineal gland of the Anguantibo contains a very, very concentrated form of dimethyltryptamine, and that shit will put you into fucking space. So, you're going to want to get yourself a slingshot, a rope, and all the gumption you can to hunt some Anguantibos if you're trying to get a fix, or you're trying to open your mind a little bit, or inspire yourself, or just have a gay old time, because that shit will get you fucked, man. So that's something that you're going to want to do in the world to come. If you like drugs, hunt Anguantibos.
Right. They say that if you go 48 hours without sleeping, you're functionally drunk, so maybe just don't sleep. I don't know.
Well, you're not going to be able to anyway, with all the Draculas trying to...
with all the Draculas, yeah. You're going to be high all the time, baby.
Even if you don't want to be.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to help how high you're going to be.
You're going to be drunk on sleep deprivation, on radiation sickness.
I was going to say, radiation sickness.
Yeah, just, brain damage that's inevitable to this world that you'll be living in. What's the word I'm looking for? Concussions, constant concussions. And pretty much anything you eat is likely to be contaminated with various poisons and hallucinogens, and because there's a very good chance that once the magnetic pulse erupts from the prime meridian and splits the Marianas Trench and triggers the tornadoes,
You're saying that so subtly that like half the people listening are not gonna.
There's a good chance the Mississippi River. Listen here, this is a specific tip here. The Mississippi River will be running with a very powerful hallucinogenic sludge. I read that.
That's it.
I read that. I'm just saying. The Mississippi River.
That real, or is that?
Dunk your head in that shit. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Not yet.
Not yet.
But once the world ends, oh yeah, it's gonna be one of the biggest things to hit the Mississippi River ever. It's gonna be one of the most important things to ever happen in the Mississippi River.
Oh God.
That and Mark Twain is the two most important things. Mark Twain. So
Guys, thanks for listening to. It's not a bit this time. Thanks for listening to Life in the World to Come. We said we'd talk about the entertainment industry. We
touched on it.
Categorically failed.
Next time, tune in to hear us talk about war and violence.
Good move, actually, talking about something that has a little bit to do with the apocalypse, I think. I think that's the move to make.
I think that's... Maybe what we need to be doing is taking a theme about the apocalypse that we can tie to the current era, as opposed to taking something about the current era we can apply to the apocalypse.
That's true. Let's talk about it now.
No, we don't have time now.
No, we have to go.
We have to go.
We got Drano and Kool-Aid to mix up.
We got to do some Drool-Aid. So once again, send your questions to lifeintheworldtocome@gmail.com. And give us a follow on
subscribe to us on iTunes. Give us a fucking rating on iTunes.
Yeah, even if it's a bad one. Don't give us a bad one. Please.
Give us a fucking 1-star. Fucking use as many racial slurs. No, never mind.
No, please.
No,
do.
Actually don't.
Please do. No. I want to see the comments section of my material turn into a 4chan thread. That's what I want. I want green text about terrible things. That's what I want. Quick, mods are asleep. Anyway. Now
I want us to be in like the same recommendations of the InfoWars podcast.
I love that.
I want
people to take us as seriously as InfoWars. And by that I mean
I want very similar.
Why don't people take InfoWars? Why do they take it so seriously? Anyway, subscribe to us on iTunes and send us your emails at lifeintheworldtocome@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. I'm Will Wood.
And we'll do better next time. Bye, everybody.
Oh, you're Chris Gunn.
And I'm Chris Gunn.
We'll do better next time. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Fuck.